Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. What boom is going on, Wayne? What's up, baby?
Yo, it's so crazy that we jumped off the No Harm, No Foul Bam show. We mentioned this guy named Leonard Floyd. We did a little write up on Leonard Floyd, a little soliloquy on why the Niners might look to address him in free agency. They didn't go with the big splash in Daniil Hunter, but they still splashed. The 49ers have signed or plan to sign. I want to say expect because it's not done until Wednesday. It's not officially done. Leonard Floyd, ladies and gentlemen, the 49ers got an edge rusher to line up opposite Nick Bosa. Mike, let's talk about this because we just spoke on how his double digits, Mike, I'm telling you, that is the number. They went from Daniil Hunter double digits at 17. We said if they couldn't get a deal done with him, then they would look at another particular person with double digit sacks. I'm looking at 10.5 sacks on William Floyd from last season with the Buffalo Bills with a limited number of snaps. We're talking about less snaps, Mike. Talk about it, baby.
Yeah, the snap count was down, man. This is his first time going to a team and not being the man, but being a man. And the Niners want that kind of mentality to carry over. While being a man for the Buffalo Bills, he still racked up double-digit sacks. When's the last time the Niners had a rotational guy get double-digit sacks? Don't worry, I'll wait, right? 577 snaps. Now, keep in mind, guys, I'm just going to go backwards through the year. So 2023, 577 snaps, 54%, okay? The year before, 933. The year before that, 932. The year before that, 916. The year before that, 899. Are you guys noticing a trend here? So this guy is out here doing the same with less, which means that he's becoming more efficient. He's becoming better. And the Niners love rotating guys. The one thing I hated about the rotation for the 49ers is you can rotate all day if you want. It means nothing if the rotational pieces are no good. Leonard Floyd is going to go out there and say, hey, I got this, coach. Put me in when you need me. And the Niners can sit back and relax and depend on 10.5 sack type production, 9 tackles for losses, 19 quarterback hits. Again, guys, limited snaps. Limited snaps. If you guys tuned into the BAM show, the No Harm, No Foul show, I told you guys that I thought 2021 was his best year. We had 18 quarterback hits. Well, he had 19 this year, limited snaps. I said that I thought 2021 was his best year. He had 7 tackles for loss. He had 9 this year with limited snaps. So, I mean, the only thing that he actually improved on was total tackles in the year that I thought was his best year. But if you're getting this kind of production from a guy who is taking barely 50% of your defensive snaps, you're in a really, really good place. The Niners found somebody here that they think can do some things in a limited role and be that veteran in the room, guys. We lost a big veteran. We're going to continue to lose some veterans, but Leonard Floyd is not one. He is he's penciled in, and pen is permanent. He's penciled in right now to be the guy, Wayne.
Yeah, he is, man. I'm sorry about that. I'm sitting here deleting some news that was fake from Juice. Juice is not gone. Apparently that was a fake Matt Mayoko account that was out, and he is not gone. All right, that is not the real Matt Mayoko's account. All right, so he's not gone. All right, so I apologize for that. I've deleted the tweet. It happens to the best of us, but it is what it is. Matt Mayoko, that was not his tweet, so please don't retweet it. Don't put that information out there. Let's get that account banned from Twitter. How about we do that? How about we focus on getting that account banned from Twitter, all right? It's been deleted on all of my social media accounts, all right? I do apologize for that. All right, back to this signing, though, that which is most important. The San Francisco 49ers, Leonard Floyd, opposite end, can start. Let's talk about his versatility because he played in a 3-4 and a 4-3. And I think that's what's most important, right? Because now you're talking about this guy can drop back and play linebacker, Mike, and stand up and rush the passer as well as and I talked about getting a guy like with Tony, not to you, getting a guy with that can set the edge. You talked about him tackling and finding a way to generate some speed off the edge. Far as remember a man named D Ford. I'm telling you, the Niners That is what they want on the opposite end of Nick Bosa. They want speed, but they want a guy that's going to be able to make the tackle if the quarterbacks or the running backs choose to run to the outside. How do they set the edge? Mike, let's talk about what setting the edge means, because I don't think some people really understand what setting the edge means. So, Mike, in your terms, in the Mike Andrews phrase terminology, what is setting the edge?
So setting the edge, to me, when I think of setting the edge, it's not necessarily going after the quarterback. You want to snap the ball. You want to make sure that the quarterback or running back can't escape to your outside shoulder. That's giving them the towards the boundary. You want to make sure that they can't do that. And Leonard Floyd is a guy that can absolutely set the edge in the NFL. And he's got the versatility to show it. He's been getting the contracts to show it. He is a proven commodity here. He's not going to be the highest sack leader. He's not going to be the guy that wows you with 30 sacks in the season, but he's going to be consistent down in and down out. And you know something, man? Never mind, I'm not going to say it. But his numbers are comparable to somebody who was a top defensive line almost free agent this year.
Let's take a look at this deal, because it's a 2-year deal, $20 million worth up to 24. I mean, we don't have any factors on the incentives or things like that.
Yeah.
But we do have the post per Ian Rappaport. This is official. I can tell you that right now. That's the real rap sheet account. He gets a 2-year, $20 million deal worth up to $24 million. Source says $12 million guaranteed in year one. We're talking about 2024, so $12 million of that is going to be guaranteed. Mike, how do you think they're going to break that guaranteed stuff down? $12 million. And why not go after Chase Young? Do you think that $12 million number might have been higher, like in the 13, 14 range?
Yeah, I think the Niners have a couple more tricks up their sleeve for the defensive line in particular, and at the edge position. Chase Young or Cleveland Farrell, one of those guys, I'm willing to bet you solid money are coming back to this team. I think if I had to guess, they're saying $12 million guaranteed in year one. I'm willing to bet that about $10 million of that is a signing bonus, just to split that $5 million up over the 2 years of the contract. And I like that they put a couple of incentives in there up to $24 million. Now, guys, keep in mind, this is penciled in. Before, back in the day, I would tell you, oh, this is it. This is gospel. It's good. It's going to happen, right? But there's a former 49er player that said, hey, Mike, these are tampering rumors for a reason. His name is Frank Gore. He was going to the Eagles, then all of a sudden he backed out last second and ended up going to Indy. And since then, I've been cautious. Anything can happen. I think that's the only time I've seen that happen, if I'm being honest. But it can still happen. Nothing's official until the date happens. Nothing can be signed until Wednesday when the BAM show premieres. So, yeah, this is good for him, though, Wayne. I would expect, like I said, at least $10 million of that $12 million guaranteed to be a signing bonus.
That's a lot, but hey, that means only $2 million is going to really affect the cap as far as that. That's good. If they can convert $10 million into signing bonus, give them $10 million up front, and then $2 million is the number that is only going to affect the cap in 2024. I am about that life, because now the Niners can continue adding to their roster in 2024. And look, I want to know how Rams fans feel about this, because I think this is a good signing. And we play the Rams, and here no one's talking about we get a guy that gets the opportunity to face his former team that let him walk in free agency. All right. And he gets to face them not once, but 2 times a year. And if the Rams are good, possibly 3 times a year. Mike, let's talk about that real quick before we dip up out of here.
I mean, you love going against a former team. That's when players turn up. You know what I'm saying? And I always get nervous when we got to play, here we go, Akello with a spoon, right? With the Rams before, with the Seahawks before. It's like, oh, man, here we go. But there's also times where teams target those players as well, because they should know their weaknesses. So you got to be mindful of all of that. You got to be careful with how things play out, and you got to be careful with ice in the background while you're talking. You know what I'm saying? So
I do know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But what's also funny is, Mike, I've never heard the opposite part of what you just said, like the opposing view on that, because it never affects. Usually when the Niners face former teammates, those teammates have days. I'm expecting these players that are for the 49ers to have days against their former teammates. I've never seen once in my life the opposing team find a way to trump that player. Usually that player is playing with the chip on the shoulder, not the team. I like the signing. I want to love it, but I really had my mind set on Danielle Hunter. So thumbs down to everybody that was out there making it seem like it was going to be him, because I thought that was the because when you when you look at what the opposing offenses have to do, when you have a Bosa and a Hunter, it makes it difficult. How much difficult would it be for the offenses to combat what this 49ers defense would do with Leonard Floyd out there? I'm not saying he's not as good as Hunter, but he's not as good as Hunter.
Yeah, I mean he's not Hunter, and the contract shows that. Hunter would not sign a deal for 2 years, $20 million. That's $10 million a year. Hunter wouldn't sign a deal for 1 year, $20 million.
That's true. I forgot about last season. That's right.
So it lets you know that that's not what he's doing right now. And so the Niners, again, are looking for depth pieces right now. They're going to do death by 1,000 cuts, for a lack of better term. You know what I mean? They're looking for some guys that are going to come in here and play a role with the team, because if you got your starters need breaks, and you don't want teams capitalizing when those guys get weary. But if we have a lot of good depth, then no matter what's coming out in the rotation, we should be okay. And that's what the Niners have that's what their defensive line has been predicated on for the last couple of seasons.
Mike, one more time, just what was his snap count last season?
Yeah, absolutely. Last year, he played 54% of the snaps for the Buffalo Bills. Only 577.
That's all I needed to know. So you're telling me a guy that played 54% of the snaps, because we're going to leave on a good note, a guy that played 54% of the snaps finished with 10 and a half sacks. I'll take it.
10 and a half sacks.
And yes, and over 20 tackle for losses too, if I'm not mistaken.
So it depends on what site you look at. I've seen a site that had 21. The site that I'm on.
Okay, so this is 9. Yeah, this is. What's the site that you're on?
It was 19 quarterback hits.
19 quarterback hits.
Loss
20 tackles for loss are 9. Right. Yeah. So look, this is something that the 49ers are going to have fun with. Chris Kosiri gets another toy. Still wouldn't be surprised if they address the edge in the draft. Possibly. Different type of edge.
Okay. You see. All right. Yep. Yeah, Leonard Floyd, welcome to the 49ers. Hopefully everything goes through on Wednesday. And you are correct. Chris Kosiric needs another first-round pick.
All right, we got a couple of questions I want to read before we dip up out of here. Shout out to all the Breezy Bunch crew members. Thank you so much for watching on my channel. The Nothing But Niners channel is popping. I'm looking at the number. I'm like, dang, Mike killing it with the breaking news. Breezy don't be killing it with the breaking news. Mike, I tell you what, I like the signing again. I'm happy. And I'm going to get over the Danielle Hunter signing, but I'm also excited to see what else the 49ers are going to do. What did I say?
This does not eliminate Danielle Hunter yet. Just let's be clear.
I think it eliminates Danielle Hunter because this is that we talked about this previously earlier today on the other show. I felt like if I put Leonard Floyd would have been in a class. He's in that same class
with
as
Derek
Barnett, and Yannick Ngakoue. He's in that class. Mm-hmm. So now you're gonna pair him up with the good depth. So now I think this eliminates Chase Young. I think this eliminates Chase Young. We were talking about a kid that's young that had 7.5 sacks. That's only 3 sacks less than what Leonard Floyd did. I think this eliminates him because I think that contract was going to be too much of a premium for the 49ers to pay because he's at market value, whereas Leonard Floyd is not at market value. It's a little different. Let's get to this Super Chat contribution, Mike. This is from your channel, and we'll talk a little bit about this.
He says here, sign right tackle Mike Onwenu. Thoughts?
Yeah, this is a no-brainer for me. You want a guy that can, you know, he fit. I just feel like he fits the system really well. He can move really well. He's a great blocker as a tackle. Can also slide and kick in the guard. So now you got a guard. He was drafted as a guard. He was moved to right tackle for the New England Patriots. He's a free agent. There are two offensive linemen I hope the 49ers look into signing. One is Connor Williams, center from Miami, who's returning from an ACL injury. And this guy right here, that to me you would improve. And if you keep Jake Brendel on his deal that he currently has and you bring in Connor Williams, you can get him healthy, you get him on a cheaper deal. Like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they sign some of these players that are really good that are coming off of an injury. Mike, how would you feel about that? Like a Tre'Davious White, a Connor Williams. These are injuries to players. Like, do you think that the Niners might look to bring in those kind of like bargain players and then bet on them getting healthy?
Yeah. Yeah, the Niners are infamous for doing things like that, and I would not be surprised if there's somebody that we didn't even know of that is coming in off of a season-ending injury or something like that. You know what I mean? An injury that happened in late October. It's like, uh-oh, who was this guy? What happened? Why are their numbers so low? And then you see that kind of news. You know what I mean?
Bingo.
Yeah.
And our sister Tanya says, do you think this is the big move and nothing else? Some are saying expect another big move. I don't know if I categorize this as big, Mike. Do you categorize this as a big move or one of those mid-tier type of moves to add another mid-tier type of move?
Yeah, this is not a big move. However, it's a significant move. And this goes back to what I was saying about Danielle Hunter. This doesn't take the Niners out of the Hunter race.
Out of
It
the
probably
hunt?
lessens. Right. I like what you did there. I like that. It doesn't take them out of the hunt, right? It makes it less likely. Only because of total dollars and money invested to that one position group. Niners aren't usually going to do it that way, but it doesn't mean that it can't happen. If the Niners were dead set on getting Danielle Hunter, this contract is not enough to say, nope, never mind, we can't afford him anymore. They can still do that. They're still playing around with money. They're still moving things around and stuff hasn't been announced yet, and they have 2 more days to get all that kind of stuff figured out. But you got to look at the position group, what they're going to invest in it. We also got to remember we don't have a lot of defensive ends on the roster. I think if you count Floyd, that takes us up to what, 4?
Yeah, so you got, if you count Floyd, you got Nick Bosa, Drake Jackson, Robert Bill Jr. Oh my gosh, there's a couple of other ones that don't get mentioned, but there's still Austin
Barrett.
Bryant.
Oh, Bryant. I thought it was Barrett.
And then Alex Barrett, and now you add in Leonard Floyd.
Right, there you go.
So now you're up to 6. So you're asking yourself, what are we going to get from Drake Jackson? What are we going to get from, will we see a upgrade or a progression from the other 2 guys like Alex Barrett and Austin Bryant, who was brought back and forth on the team last season?
Right, yeah. Yeah.
So I think they bring in one more.
Guys expendable.
I think they bring in one more, and then they draft.
Okay. That sounds about right.
Guys, Kyle Juszczyk still remains with the 49ers. That was a fake account that posted that. The thing is that they are in talks about him taking a pay cut. The question is, we don't know what that number is, and we're waiting to get whim on if he's going to take the pay cut. So Kyle Juszczyk remains with the 49ers. We do apologize for that. I apologize for that false alarm, but it's been deleted from all of my social media accounts, so I do apologize. All right, Mike, let's get up out of here, man. Listen, great breaking news episode. Leonard Floyd is now a San Francisco 49er. Stay tuned, man, because we're going to be bringing you breaking news videos as they break. We'll try to be quicker with the breaking news. We do apologize for the delay, but we will be back. I can tell you that. It don't matter what the time is. Once that news break, get ready to see Mike and Wayne, baby. We love y'all, man. Stay up, stay faithful. We out this joint. Peace.